We're live. Welcome back to It's Movie Time Pod, episode 12. What you guys didn't see is we just said a family prayer.
And it was the craziest thing I think I've ever heard in my life.
If this pod sounds good, I will not be participating in masturbatory actions for the next 48 hours. And I think that's pretty good.
Some of the things that you say are just, like, how do they even come to your head?
Honestly, I don't know, but welcome back to It's Movie Time Pod, episode 12. Super stoked today. Today's episode, it's officially been 3 months of us doing this, which is crazy, and still 3 months of audio technical difficulties, which, hey, I mean, at the end of the day, we're just trying to become a little bit better, and Seth is learning, I think.
I think he might be.
Would you?
I think you might be learning. I do.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you are also learning. Move it a little bit more towards your mouth.
Well, I moved it away because I have a deviated septum and I don't want to sound like a pug.
Sorry, babe.
That's okay. Don't you worry about it. I trust you, and we said a prayer to make sure that it sounds good. And God is real.
He is.
He is king.
Risen.
I don't think, however, he takes requests, so I'm not sure if this pod is going to sound good or not.
I think it will. I do. I think it'll be good.
Cool. Well, today we're going to talk about Sinners, which
The banger of all bangers?
which Seth clearly is.
A sinner.
Oh, yeah. You know, today I was in the car, and I said something in the car that I thought was so funny, and I was going to call one of you guys. And then when I said it again in my head 5 minutes later, I realized how stupid it was.
What was it?
I was driving through this neighborhood, and I was going 25 miles per hour because that's the speed limit. And there were signs everywhere that was like, kids at play. And there was someone riding my ass. And I go, but ma'am, there's kids at play. It's not funny, but in the moment, I thought it was the funniest thing.
What was the meaning of what you said? What did you think it was?
Like, I was just mad at her for following me so close. And I was like, but ma'am, there's kids at play.
Okay, so it's just like, I'm going slow because there are kids here.
Well, also, it's 25 miles per hour. Follow the speed limit.
Yeah.
I do always follow the speed limit.
Because you have to.
Especially in my work car. But when I'm in my own personal
Do
car.
they have a speedometer tracker?
Oh, they got everything.
Really?
Yeah, they do. So, Sinners. Jack said it, the banger of all bangers.
Best movie of the year.
By far. Like, it's not close. Would you say it's close, Lan?
No, there really isn't anything that's touched it. Like, I'm even trying to think of like movies that have come out, and the only thing that I've enjoyed, not even close to Sinners, but the thing that I've enjoyed like the most is probably The Accountant 2.
That's what I was going to say. The only other movie that I think I would put up there with Sinners this year, well...
It's not even like up there though. It's like Sinners is way up here.
It's
just an enjoyable one, but it doesn't touch it on like any
cinematography, acting, score.
Yeah.
None of that even comes close, but The Accountant 2 is a very fun movie.
The Accountant 2, which we're not talking about today, but it does come out this week. Go see that movie.
Yes.
That movie, if you like The Accountant 1, The Accountant 2 is everything The Accountant 1 is, but better.
A lot better, too. Like, The Accountant 1 is a great movie. The Accountant 2 is...
Next level.
Leagues above that movie.
Well, the truth is, The Accountant 2, really, I think what makes it so good is John Bernthal's and Ben Affleck's chemistry.
Yeah.
And the fact that it was in production hell for 10 years and couldn't get made is crazy to me, because the script is really solid, the movie's really solid.
The scene at the bar...
Yeah.
Is so much fun when he gets approached by that guy and he says, no, keep going. My brother wasn't having a good time, but he will be. Yeah. So much fun.
5 out of 5. Sinners?
10 out of 5.
10 out of 5. Hell, I might even give that shit 15 out of 5, bruh.
I mean, let's just dive into it because there's so much to unpack here. The first thing I think we should all go in and is give our ratings before we start breaking everything down so the viewers can understand where we're coming from. Seth gave it 5.
Yeah, I gave it 5.
Landon gave it 5. I gave it 5. My beautiful girlfriend did not give it 5. She gave it 4.5.
I did give it a 4.5.
Cool. I feel like, you know what's more egregious than giving that 4.5?
Giving it 3.5.
Giving Arrival 2.5.
Giving Arrival 2.5, and then giving The Batman 1.5.
You guys just don't get it.
I can live with...
I do get it. I think you don't get it.
Yes.
No, I genuinely do. Like, I'm not trying
Arrival's
to be
a
mean.
bad movie.
The Arrival is? Okay.
Have you watched it recently?
I watched it like, what, 2 months ago?
Yeah, I don't
Probably
like it
when I
at
watched
all.
it.
I've seen that movie 20 plus times.
Look,
Yeah.
Denis is one of Seth's favorite directors, too.
Why
okay.
don't you like it?
I think the plot flopped hard.
In what
Like,
sense?
I think it could have gone like really, really well, but then they started messing with time. And any movie that messes with time, if you don't do it exactly right, it's gonna flop for me. And I think it flopped. Just because it's like, why can't you figure out the timeline until the very end, and then she knows all the things but she doesn't know anything all at the same time? I don't like it. I think they picked the wrong actress for the lead also.
Crazy. Wait.
She's so cute as like a little princess in Enchanted, but she can't play a character like that.
That is like the most anti-feminist thing I've ever heard in my life. Okay, and as the resident feminist of this podcast, this will
course.
not stand. Talking crap on Amy Adams is almost as bad as talking crap on Meryl Streep.
Nobody ever talked crap on Meryl Streep.
Well, I don't know about that one, dude.
You're putting thoughts in your head that never were actually said.
That's my bad.
Are you mentally okay?
I'm very mentally ill,
that's
actually. Sorry, Sinners. Best movie of the year. We're going to break it down into a few different things because we want to be very this movie is fantastic. We're actually going to start with acting performances. I think we can all agree that every single performance in this movie, 10 out of 10. Like, I did not see, Allie, what performance was bad?
Oh, I think everyone did a good job. Haley girl. She bugs me hard.
No, she cooked.
She bugs
She
me so
cooked.
bad. And I think she could have done better.
Look, the one
Honestly.
thing that I will say...
It felt like stage play acting and not like movie acting a little bit to me. You know what I'm saying? There's a difference.
I do agree there's a difference, but I guess in what way do you mean? Because I can agree with that in one scene. The scene at the train station, I agree with you. But every other scene...
Well, that's where she's introduced. And so I feel like it's like... That's pretty...
Well, yeah, but she's still good in that scene. I mean, obviously, okay. I can see why you wouldn't like her out of everyone.
Yeah.
But I think she's fantastic.
I think it's the best acting I've seen her do.
Hands down. She's
I don't
seen
like
The Edge of 17?
I just don't like her very much.
I haven't finished The Edge of 17. It's the best acting from Haley Steinfeld that we've seen in her career so far.
Pitch Perfect 2, bro.
Pitch Perfect 2 is
Pitch
great.
Perfect
Have you
2,
seen True
the worst
Grit?
part about Pitch Perfect 2 is the riff off with her.
Her
okay?
Oscar-nominated performance
I
in
haven't
True
seen
Grit?
True Grit. I haven't seen
She's
that.
really good in that. That was like one of her first roles, and she's amazing. But what I will say is...
Her music kind of sucks.
My favorite thing... Okay, watch out. First of all, her banger, Dangerous, for the Sinner soundtrack, goes hard.
Is that the one that
Yeah.
That's the one she's been posting on her social media? Yeah, I don't like it.
What about
You must hate the movie.
Coast with Anderson .Paak?
Coast is her best song with Anderson .Paak, and it's only good because of Anderson .Paak.
His part is the worst part.
Her
Her part is way better.
He's great.
No, his part is not as good as hers.
I just think at the end of the day...
Look, this is a movie podcast, okay?
No, it is. But I think at the end of the day, I also want to make a joke. We should make... you know how they have like star whores, like porno, like...
Where
parodies
are
of
we heading
movies?
with this?
The Edge of 17, The Edge of 7 Cream.
What?
That's insane.
And it takes place on her 18th birthday. Because obviously,
For obvious reasons.
Yeah.
I will not be partaking in that with you. making that movie.
Yeah, I'm out. I'm out.
But I hope you find somebody to help you with that.
If I do make it, would you watch it?
Probably not. Yeah. Just put in your Hinge profile, making my own porn movie. Swipe up if you want to start.
Swipe up if looking for an actress for a short film.
Yeah.
Swipe up if you want your dreams to come true.
Or your creams to come.
Nice.
That was bad.
You're going to have to turn that up on the pod.
That's
you whispered
hilarious. Your creams to come true. No,
Anyway,
I
back to
potentially have an
Sinners.
STD. No, I got tested. I'm clean.
It. Back to Sinners.
Yes. We're going to. So
Okay, so Allie thought that
Haley Steinfeld.
Haley
wasn't good.
Steinfeld, is she the only one that you didn't like?
Yeah.
Everybody else was 10?
Yeah, I think so. It was just like little moments that I was like,
Took
I
you
can
out a
tell
little
you're
bit?
acting. You know what I mean? Like I want
I
to
do
be
get
fully
that.
immersed in the movie, and it's like if I can tell that you are actually not in it, then I don't care about
That's
it.
fair. I do get that.
Yeah.
That's a fair criticism. What would you guys say favorite performance? If you had to pick any performance.
You want me to start?
Yeah, sure.
So mine is Delroy Lindo is my favorite performance.
He's
Delta
so good.
Slim.
Yeah, Delta Slim.
That
Delta
name
Slim.
goes so hard.
Delta Slim is...
New gamer tag.
I got bit by a vampire once. Bit me everywhere.
Well,
everywhere
yeah,
but the
it was a
neck.
light skinned.
Yeah. It's a light-skinned woman.
She
Bit me everywhere but the
everywhere
neck.
But my neck.
Yeah. No, Delta Slim is my favorite performance because he's the comic relief, but it's not like an overbearing comic relief. Like, I feel like a lot of times in movies, the comic relief is just too much. And he's the right amount of comic relief, but also when they're in the car and he's talking about how his friend died,
Yeah.
that was so emotional. And the delivery on that was just beautiful. I loved it.
Yeah. They do something really interesting in that scene too. Ryan Coogler does with there's no music playing from the car, obviously, but you hear the sounds of like
What's
story.
happening of the story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And even when it's like comes to the lynching, you hear the neck.
The noose.
Yeah, like
yeah, it tightens.
it's really
Yeah.
good. It's
Really
really
good.
like jarring in a fantastic way.
Yeah.
Delroy Lindo's a great pick. Lan?
I don't know. I just love Michael B. And playing like two different people is crazy.
That is.
Yeah.
He's like, I see Lindsay Lohan. It's my turn.
Michael B is a great pick. He's so good. Allie?
Who's my favorite?
Yeah.
Okay, I just learned her name just now. It's the woman who plays Grace Chow, the Lee Jun Lee. She
Ooh,
was my
she's
favorite.
really good.
She was so good. I believed I was like, "Oh, that's just you."
She's the one that screwed him all over.
Yeah.
Well, did you see
I think it was authentic though.
Did you
Like
see
that
the
felt
big
real.
Did you see the big online criticism of that character and how people are like, here's what I'm going to say. I think the people who say that must not have kids. Because straight up, I don't have kids, but I know if like, and I joked about the nieces and nephews, whatever, but I know like if there were vampires outside and they were threatening, if I didn't let them in, spoiler, by the way, most of this is spoilers, they didn't let me in, they were going to kill my niece, I'm taking that on. Like, I'm not going to, what? I'm going to let them go do their thing? Like, for me, I feel like her actions, were they justifiable? Maybe not when you're looking at it from a grand scale, but also it's like as a mother or as a father or as I can only imagine you die for your kids.
Yeah. Here's the thing, I do understand that, but also I understand the point that the people online are making, because when you look back at the history of the time, the Asian Americans at that time benefited greatly from both the African Americans and the white people because they're neither. So they're able to open grocery stores, for example, and sell at the plantations and sell to the black people, but also open grocery stores and sell to the white people. So I understand like discourse of them just being in it for the money and not being ride or die for the twins. And there's a perfect example of that because, spoiler, once Stack gets bit and everybody thinks that he's dead, what's the first thing that she says to her husband?
Let's go home.
Let's get out of here. We didn't come here for this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right? So they're not part of Smoke and Stack's world. They just profit from it.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think two things can be true at the same time.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
Like 100%. That's why I'm like, it really just depends on how you look at it. But I do think it's with that intent that you're talking about, but also the knowledge of being a parent. Like, of course you're going to do that.
Yeah.
And it proves it with what follows.
Yeah.
Right? Exactly what she does.
Well, but that's the thing that pisses me off too. She's so worried about getting home to take care of her kid, and then she just is going to go light herself on fire and kill her husband.
I don't think that's what she's scared about. I think what she's scared of more than anything, I don't think it's getting back to Lisa at that point. I think at that point she's like, no matter what, we're dead. Like, she knows when she's saying, come on in, like, she's not going to survive all those vampires. I think she's saying it with the pure intention of, I need to kill him so his memories go away and Lisa's safe. That's my interpretation of that moment.
Which makes sense. I think that makes sense. And sorry to you both. We're just having a one-on-one conversation right now. I just think that if you look at Remick, that's his name. If you look at what his grand scheme of everything is, the whole town's in trouble. You know what I'm saying? Like, if they get everybody in there, if he gets Sammy, he's going for the whole town also. Like, he's trying to build his community. So whether or not they die, Lisa's screwed either way.
See, I disagree.
I mean, he did say, give us Sammy and I'm out.
And you trust him?
Yes, because his whole point was Sammy, because he's in it to bring back his ancestors. That's his whole point with the thing. Like he said, your voice beckoned me here. He's the devil, and he was beckoned because of this ability to...
So why turn anyone, though? Why turn anyone if he just wants Sammy? Why did he turn Mary in the first place if he just wanted Sammy? Well, there's no point in that.
The reason he turned Mary was because she pulled a gun on him and was about to walk back in.
No, because he was drooling eyes red before she even pulled the gun. That's why she pulled the gun.
Because he's a vampire.
Yeah, but he can control that.
I think it's just like an evil thing. Like, misery loves company. It's not...
That's what I think.
No, I'm disagreeing with you.
No.
I think he would... It doesn't matter that he just wants Sammy. He's gonna kill or make everyone in his path a
That's
vampire.
what I'm saying.
Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I'm
Once
saying...
he gets Sammy, he's done.
I disagree with that.
No, I think that's right.
No,
but wait, what about... He got Mary because he knew she could get him inside. She could get inside easy. That's exactly what happened. We turn her. She's going to walk over and be like, you going to let me in? Obviously, they're going to let her in. She was already in. Done.
I mean, yeah, that is true. I just think that he is turning everybody regardless.
Well, the thing is once she turned, though, because then she's like, oh, I want him to turn because I love him. And then we try to bring everyone because we're family.
See, so I think as a communal thing, sure, maybe it happens that way. But I think more so than that, it really is once he gets Sammy, his job is done. Remick's job is done.
I agree with that.
Because that's his whole character plot line is his land was taken away from him. His family was killed. He's been through all this oppression. He wants his talent, his memories, his songs, so that he can bring back his ancestors, so that he's not alone anymore and damned. Right? So I think once he does that, there's part of it where he wants to build this family aspect, but in my personal opinion, more than anything, it's just to get to Sammy so that he can have his family back.
I get that. I understand that point. I just think, what's the point in getting somebody who can play a song for 6 minutes to get you to see your family if after the song's over you don't have a family?
Well, no, he will be. That's his whole idea. Is he wants to steal the songs and steal the talent and steal everything so that he can just do it forever.
So he's just gonna play music nonstop for the.
Well, no, but it's not necessarily the nonstop thing, Jax. It's more of just he wants he wants to have that ability to bring them back.
Yeah, which is great. That is the truth. But what's the point in having the ability to bring your family back for a song so you can see them if once the song ends you have nobody?
Because then he can just do it again. Imagine this, okay? Like I think about it if from my perspective, right? I think about like my brother-in-law who passed. If I could have this ability to bring him back for 5 minutes, hell, it's 5 minutes. But you do anything to do it.
Yes, you would. But if the trade-off was you bring him back for 5 minutes and then once the 5 minutes is up, you have nobody after that. Is it worth it?
Yes, because at least you have the 5 minutes with that person
But then the rest of your time you have no one.
until you do it again.
But that's just it's
But he's damned to earth forever. So,
so the only time he's ever going to have family is when he's playing music.
yes, but without that, he doesn't have them ever. You've got to look
But
at
yes, and I get that. But his whole point is building a family. Like he says it multiple times. And Haley Steinfeld's character even says the same thing. We are a family. Once we kill you, we're going to have heaven on earth.
Well,
That is the point of it. Yes, he wants Sammy, but also he wants his community. That's why he's turning people.
yeah. I mean, I think we see it two different ways, which is totally fine.
We must.
If I can say my
Anyway,
favorite
yeah, say your
acting.
favorite character.
I think I also, I've seen the movie a few times now. Everyone's so good in it. I think I've got to go Michael B. though. When we watched it last night, the one thing I was really struck by is how similar but how different the twins are and how believable they both are. Like, it's so impressive. So incredibly impressive what he does with that role and what he does with those characters. And not just one of the characters, right? It's both of them. Like,
Yeah. The fact that I kept them separated in my brain the whole time, never mixed them up.
exactly.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's the whole like Michael A. and Michael B. Jordan, which is so funny. But
Landon's review was funny. His
Yeah.
first one. His name is Michael B. B is in bangers because he doesn't miss. That
he
was
doesn't,
good.
dude.
Yeah.
He does not miss.
He's
But
never made a bad movie.
no. Those are favorite performances. Favorite scene. We're going to just start with favorite scene from the movie. I'll start.
Hit us off.
Okay. The oneer. The tracking shot in the middle of the movie. The greatest shot ever. The greatest. Okay. Maybe recency bias. The greatest scene ever made in any movie ever. I've never seen a scene that moves me as much as that scene does. The execution on every single level, the performances going on in every single part of the scene, the cinematography, the tracking is absolutely insane. The direction, blocking that scene. I was talking to Jackson yesterday about blocking and how hard it is to actually not just block out the actors, but also have to block out with your cinematographer where the camera's going to move, block out the actors. So, hey, you're doing this at this time. And when we come back around, you're doing this at this time. Crazy. Last night, it moved me to tears watching it. I was just so... And then the way it ends is crazy.
The ending of the movie.
No,
Or the ending of
end
that scene. Okay.
Incredible. That's my favorite scene in the movie.
I think we're all going to have the same favorite scene. Right?
Maybe, I mean,
Just say another scene that you really liked.
I
'cause
do
that's-
love that scene. I do think, I don't know, there's like three that really stand out, and it's like the end, not the very end, but I guess it's the end when he, I don't want to spoil stuff, but
when
kills all
homeboys
the-
pull up.
Yeah, when he kills all of them is awesome. Also, though, the scene when the vampire is first introduced, and he just like comes busting in there.
Yeah,
I think I like that the most because like the background looks so pretty and like cinematography wise there, but then also when they're in the water and the sun comes up.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like those
Sammy.
those three are like my favorite. Like, yeah.
What's
No,
yours, babe?
Those are great scenes. Jax?
You
go.
go.
You
You're
go.
in line next.
Oh, fine. My favorite scene is obviously the oneer that Seth talked about. It's honestly, it's not even so much like the artistic, like movie making aspect of that scene, but the way that that kid sings is just insane.
Yeah.
And that song, if it doesn't win the best original song for a movie,
Yeah.
I will be shocked.
Dangerous by Haley Steinfeld should win.
No, it shouldn't.
Give me one gentleman.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't win. It shouldn't win. Another favorite scene is the one that I already talked about with Delta Slim, and they're in the car. I think that
It's a great scene.
scene is very powerful. And then he gets to the point in that scene where he just can't talk about it anymore. So he just starts singing, humming,
Yeah.
and it's just like something about that is just really impactful.
Yeah.
You don't know what that part reminded me of when he started doing the humming. When Michael Scott is driving back with Daryl and they start doing the blues.
So funny, dude.
I thought you were gonna say, because it reminded me of Wolf of Wall Street,
Oh,
the little hummy thing they do.
Matthew McConaughey, dude. Go.
Yeah.
Allie, favorite scene in the movie?
Okay, the one I've been thinking of fully spoils. Can I just say?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been spoiling. I'm going to put a spoiler alert on the pod.
Okay, the very end when Smoke is dying, sees Annie and the baby. She's like, "You better put that damn cigarette out before you hold my kid." I loved it. I thought it was so good. And then he like comes to, because the guy that's dying in front of him is still talking.
Yeah, he goes, "I've got money."
Got money. That's
Yeah.
my favorite part. It's like so beautiful, and there's something like there's so much history around putting a baby's breath in your afro,
Yeah.
and I really loved it.
That's a great scene.
Yeah.
The thing about the movie is there genuinely, for me, is not a scene that doesn't slap.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's too many that are good.
Wait, can I add another one?
Yeah.
When they're doing the Irish jig
Oh,
outside.
no.
so good.
So good.
So
Summoning
good.
That
like,
that scene in IMAX is crazy. Crazy. The Irish Jig is awesome.
It could have looked so corny if they didn't do it right. And I don't know how they did it right, but I was like,
But
it
it's
looks
because Ryan
sick.
Coogler
It's
is
choreographed amazing.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Ryan
looks
Coogler,
so good.
The
man.
camera work, everything.
Yeah.
I special mention to the opening scene at the church, which what a way to open a movie.
Yeah.
Like
Oh yeah.
them
Yeah.
singing This Little Light of Mine in the church.
And then the flashbacks.
Yeah.
When
Yeah.
we watched it, she was jumping. Each
Yeah.
flashback, she was jumping.
No, yeah, that scene fucks.
Yeah. If I honestly like, I understand for a lot of people, like we go see movies because we all have movie passes. It makes it a lot easier for us. Like I've seen Sinners 3 times. Lennon's seen it twice. You've seen it 3 times, right?
Yes.
So it's like the movie pass helps us, and for a lot of people, they don't have that. But this is a movie that you're gonna want to spend some money on
Oh yeah.
to go see because it's that good.
Yeah.
I convinced 2 people at my job to go see it tonight.
Also, can I say one thing? I've seen a lot of people online saying like, they're like, let's just leave this as a one, its own movie. No prequels, no sequels. But then someone was like, I want a prequel of the Native Americans hunting
Yeah.
for the vampires, and I was like, that would actually go hard.
We talked about that,
We had
yeah.
this discussion yesterday. I'm down with that, but it doesn't need to be in the Sinners universe. Like, just let it be. Like, that's a great thing to explore on its own because that used to be a thing where the Choctaw would hunt vampires, right? And these spirits. I would love to just see someone else do like an original, brand new vision of that. I don't need it to be in the Sinners universe. Like this, the reason Sinners works so well is like it's fully Ryan Coogler's original vision. I want more movies like this. I don't want more movies based off of this. Like maybe if it's inspired by this, that's great. But if you have it like a prequel, you're in the confines of what we already know about the vampires, which are cool. but I love seeing new takes on these, different things. Like the reason the vampires in this one work so well is there's all these elements that you have from other movies, other sources, but they're still Ryan Coogler's vampires. Like they're designed in a certain way.
Eyes, dude. The
Eyes, the hands, like the fact that the hands sometimes will come out in that claw form, but sometimes they won't. Like there's a lot of things they did that I thought were really cool. But that's just my opinion.
Well, do you think the guy that was chasing the vampire in the beginning was Jacob's great-great-great-grandfather?
That's got to be racist somehow.
How is that racist?
I don't know, dude.
They're on the reservation in Twilight.
Well,
That's true.
are they on an Indian reservation in
Yeah.
Twilight? Oh,
Where else?
Where else would they be, Seth?
it's been a long day.
So much for a movie lover.
Okay.
Especially Twilight. Tell your dad. You need to
Your dad
get
would
out
be
of the house,
disappointed
bro.
in you.
Yeah, he probably would. There's a lot of things I've said on this podcast they'd probably be disappointed about. I don't know if that one would be the biggest one, but no, that's fair.
You want to talk about that score?
Score and soundtrack.
It's
Weird.
it's not weird though. Okay.
Jackson just busted, and I promised God we would not bust for 48 hours, so this audio is about to get all mixed up.
No, it's gonna be great.
I have a lot of thoughts. On that.
Landon just over here rubbing the microphone.
Nice. Okay,
I am
Allie,
actually
No,
You
I
start
don't
us
want to
off.
go first.
No, you start us off. Yeah, you start us off. Yeah, do it. I'm in.
You sound sarcastic.
No, I'm
so
being
maybe you
serious.
should go.
No. I want you to go.
Okay. Well, I mean, so while I was watching the movie, I thought it was like all the sound was really great and really interesting. Then on the drive here, I listened to the entire soundtrack. Let me tell you, this is one of the best soundtracks I've ever heard in my life. Number one, the polyrhythm. There's polyrhythm in every single song in that soundtrack, which is like so authentic to the blues genre. And I just like, it kind of blew my mind. Like the rhythm in every single song.
Now we're talking about the score, right? Not like the originals, because
Right,
there's the
right.
score and then the original soundtrack. They came out with it separately. You're talking about the score.
Yeah, the album I listened to was both.
Ludwig Göransson, dude, the goat.
Yeah, his brain is so cool. Okay, the other thing, I'll go quick.
No, don't go quick. You're
The
fine.
other thing that I thought was so interesting is, so in one of my classes we talk a lot about sound, and there are sounds that naturally as humans we find like inviting, and there are sounds that we find not inviting and super scary. Like the sound of a siren. Usually you're pretty concerned when you hear sirens, or like, what the heck happened? If you hear, like, people don't like the sound of like styrofoam rubbing together, or like knives being sharpened, like all of these things like say danger to our brains. And then, but this score was like had these like really fun and inviting sounds of like these like bluesy guitars and harmonicas, and then they use the exact same instruments to make these uninviting sounds in the same song. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Mind blown. It was like so interesting to hear, and like I was wearing headphones while I drove in my little headphones.
Nice. Respect.
Yeah, I think that's a really hard thing to do, is make both an inviting and an uninviting sound with the exact same materials.
Yeah,
Cool. So cool.
it is.
Well, he's crazy. I saw another one that said on the Creed soundtrack, he used the sound of punching as part of like to make the songs.
That's sick.
Yeah. No, I mean, and you think about Oppenheimer. Like,
I never think about Oppenheimer.
this dude doesn't miss. And Allie doesn't either with a crack like that. That's incredible. The score is so dynamic, and it works the entire way through. You know, a score really works when you don't notice it, but you feel it. So, like, the first time the movie was happening, I felt it. The second time I watched the movie, I listened for it. And I thought it was really cool. Like, for me, if I come out of a movie and I'm like, one of the big things I'm taking away is like, oh, that score was everything. It's not a bad thing. But for me, I'm like, to be completely honest with you, I want to be moved by the score and then listen to it and be like, wow. Which I think is what's so impressive about Sinners is I wasn't thinking about the score, but then when I got out of it and I listened to it, I was like, I can see everything.
Yeah.
But it's just like in my soul. It like got under my skin. It's the same way. I know we're joking about Oppenheimer, but it is the same way I feel about that score where I hear something from it and I can immediately see the scene.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. My first review of the movie, because we saw it in Dolby Atmos the first time, which is Atmos, which is the first.
Atmos, but.
Oh, whatever. Atmos, whatever. The first time, which is the sound that it's made for, right? That's in what Ryan Coogler talks about in a lot of his interviews, is that's the specific sound that he recommends you watching it in. And my first review was just how perfect that score is. It's one of the best I've ever heard, if not arguably the best.
I don't know. Pirates 3 exists.
Pirates 3 does exist, but...
Dude, you know what I was just thinking about? I just want to taste you. That scene is great.
Dude, I saw an interview today of Michael B. and Ryan Coogler, and the woman interviewing them, she was like, what is going on in your mind when you're making this movie? And he like starts to answer the question, and then she goes, because that drool scene, that's going to have us thinking for a long time. And he started laughing so hard, and then he didn't know how to answer her question as to like what was going on in your mind when you made that specific scene.
Yeah.
And so him and Michael B. were just laughing about it.
The movie is sexy.
Extremely.
Haley Steinfeld can spit in my mouth anytime.
Your body didn't forget me. Also a crazy line.
Oh, yeah, dude.
She just...
grabs that.
Yeah.
She does. Does
You
she
don't remember
not?
that?
No, I do.
Two-hand it?
She just...
No, she one-hands it.
I know. Why'd you go?
He's saying
I was
the
like,
one of the hands is the cock.
Yeah.
The other one's the hand.
Yeah. Sorry, I should have gone like this.
I didn't. Okay, all right. That's crazy.
That's fitting for Michael B.
Apparently.
He's got to have a huge schlong, bro.
Why are you cock-watching another man, Seth?
I'm not. I'm cock-imagining.
That's even...
Call it the cockening.
That's his other film. Gonna need to get on Hinge, but for the dudes.
Yeah.
The score's
Honestly,
great.
one thing that I will say, sorry, the score is fantastic. I don't care much for the original soundtrack, except for when Miles Canton, is that how you pronounce his last name?
Yeah.
I think so.
Caton?
No.
It's Caton. Miles
I think it's Ken.
Catton?
Catton.
Catton?
But like with a little bit of like a Catton.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know.
A Utah accent.
I don't really care much. Like, the Rod Wave song is whatever to me. Even Haley Steinfeld song to me doesn't really do much for me. But when he sings, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Crazy that it's also his first movie.
Roll ever. Yeah.
He killed it.
He's so good.
Shout out to her for recommending that he audition for that part.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie. He learned the guitar for that movie too.
Yeah.
That's
No-
what I was telling Jax. Like, he was playing that. He was like, "Yeah, I didn't really play guitar before, but I knew I could sing." He was playing that guitar like he's been playing
in an
it
interview,
for his
yeah.
whole life.
Yeah.
No, that's great. Last thing I want to say, and then we'll kind of move on, but go see this in IMAX. The IMAX is incredible. The aspect ratio changes work on every level.
I was about to bust every time.
Well,
Babe, you don't
it's an
understand.
insane thing to say.
No, babe,
Trust
you don't
me.
understand.
Okay, we were a couple super soakers last night, just ready to sprout off on a warm
That's crazy.
summer day.
We were not doing that.
You literally said to me,
I'm glad I stayed home.
Jackson literally leaned over to me a couple times and said, "I'm about to bust."
It's because when you there are times in during the movie where the aspect ratio just jumps, like it'll just jump between the IMAX like super tall back to just like the regular, but the times where you like watch it grow, oh, it's yeah, don't even get me started on that.
Yeah, no, it's great. You should definitely do it. So, 3 5 stars, a 4.5 star.
I think she'll change it to a
Oh.
5.
My biggest thing why it's a 4.5 star, and then we'll move on.
Which is for me, it's a lame reason to deduct a half star. But whatever.
Remic's jumping.
Okay.
That was so not. It just you don't need it. He could have just like run really fast, and that would have been better.
But then you would have been like, oh, that's Edward.
Well, I thought of Edward anyway. Edward's an amazing
doesn't jump
jumper.
like that.
Yeah, he does.
He does.
Does he?
Yeah.
I remember in the
When he
first
climbs
one,
the
he's
trees, I
like, you better
thought.
get spider monkey.
Yeah, but he's climbing trees and shiz.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he's jumping from
It
tree
was
to tree
like
type B.
that was a
reason to
little
deduct
That is
corny.
a
half
lame
a
reason to
star.
deduct.
That
half
was a
a
little
star.
corny. Like
And
corny enough to make me go.
Here's the thing, though, is it makes sense when he does it, and you screamed both times when
I did
he
not
did it.
scream.
You did.
I jumped.
The first time when he like smoothly jumps after Mary's character, it's just like the most graceful little.
It's a cut. It's just
I
a
love
quick
it.
cut.
I love it.
Yeah, I jumped really hard.
You don't get to see Michael B jump.
But I bet he jumped
No.
way higher.
Remick is.
I have heard that. I think, look, the truth, that is so funny. Why does he jump way higher?
Oh, I was playing off of what you said before. He's got a massive thing, and I'm just like, oh, everything's better, apparently.
Because he has 3 legs to push off of
Crazy.
instead of 2.
Yeah, no, that's fair. Holy fuck, that's hilarious. So, cool. Okay,
You
now let's
started
get
it.
let's get in this next piece. Star Wars rankings. We're all just gonna go through. I want everyone to. We're not gonna go down the whole list. We're just gonna go through, give our Star Wars rankings from worst to best. Give, if you feel like there's reasons why this is in a certain position, give it to us. But we're gonna start.
So I'm going Revenge of the Sith is 1.
Banger.
Return of the Jedi is 2.
Banger.
Empire Strikes Back is 3.
Banger.
The Last Jedi is 4.
Banger.
And then I got A New Hope 5. Force Awakens 6. Attack of the Clones 7. Phantom Menace. And then Rise of Skywalker.
I'm so into that. I love it.
I want to hear yours, Seth.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. Number 1, The Last Jedi. Number 2, Empire Strikes Back. Number 3, A New Hope. Number 4, Return of the Jedi. Number 5, The Force Awakens. Number 6, Revenge of the Sith. Number 7, Rise of Skywalker. Number 8, Phantom Menace. Number 9, Attack of the Clones.
That's fair,
Beautiful.
except for Revenge of the Sith at 6th.
Is insane.
That's just my opinion.
No, and that's fine.
And it's wrong.
And it might change when we see the re-release, but that's my opinion. What's yours, Jackson?
1, Revenge of the Sith. 2, Empire Strikes Back. 3, Return of the Jedi. 4, Force Awakens. 5, it gets a little wompy in here. I'm going to go The Last Jedi. 6, I'm going to go... Wait, did I skip one? No, 5, The Last Jedi. 6, we're doing... Oh, man, I don't know. Attack of the Clones. 7, The Phantom Menace. 8, The Rise of Skywalker. 9. No, actually, 8, A New Hope. 9, The Rise of Skywalker.
Crazy. Why is New Hope so low?
I've just always found it to be really boring. Like it's like really, really boring up until they get to the Death Star.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Alan?
Yeah.
I can't remember any of the names. I know that I like the first new one,
Force Awakens.
The Force Awakens. That's probably my number 1 because I didn't watch. Here's the thing: I didn't watch any of the Star Wars as a kid.
Me neither.
I like the first ones I saw were the newer ones, and I just knew that all of my older siblings really hated them because they were just remakes of the old one, but like the main character is a girl instead. Anyway, that's just how they felt about it. But I've watched all of them now, and I can't remember them.
We'll watch them again.
Like,
Don't
at
even
all.
worry. She's going to put
So.
the third one at number 1.
I don't like Rogue One. I know that.
I apparently don't like Rogue One. Remember?
Yeah, you
were
gave it a
pissed.
really low score on
Then I went and
Letterboxd.
fixed it. 4.5. That movie fucks.
The
Oh, it
best
does.
part of that movie is Vader at the end for the 30 seconds that he's on the screen. That's what makes it go from like...
You know what scene I really like?
What?
I think it's the opening one with when what's his name, Ben Mendelsohn, comes to kill that gal's father.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
That scene's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
That movie is really good. I don't know why Landon doesn't like it as much as some of the other movies, but it is
No, I just think like I just don't. It's not included in like my 9.
fair.
If I'm going off of like the Star Wars movies,
That's not
to
one of them.
me, because then I'm like, well, why aren't we putting like Solo in there?
We could, but it would be last.
Well, you know the one
Solo
who made
went hard.
you know
Solo was better than
Solo's really good.
Solo was sick.
I'd put Solo ahead of. I'd probably put Solo like in 6th spot,
That's crazy.
and I'd put Rogue One in the 5th spot, and I just push everything
Back after that.
Yeah, so those are Star Wars rankings. We'll get out of here because we've actually been recording for a long time.
I have a hot take.
Okay.
And this is specifically to piss off Seth. Just because you loved a movie so much doesn't mean that I have to love it that much.
No, okay, but here's where we're at. Here's where the fuck we're at, Jax.
No, and
Because
also let
I'm
me
just
talk.
com-
No, and also
I'm
let me talk
confused
before
about
you
your
say anything.
fucking rating system.
Let me talk
dude.
before you say
No, I'm
anything.
confused about your fucking rating system.
Be
How about
confused
that?
then, because look, I watched The Big Lebowski. It's arguably your favorite movie of all time. True or false? True. It's a good movie. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars. You act like I gave it 1 star.
No,
You're acting like I gave that movie 1 star. Now let's talk about this. 2 of my all-time favorite movies. Star Wars 3, you gave it 2 stars. So choke, okay? Choke. A Knight's Tale, you gave it 3 stars.
Okay,
Are you
that's because
insane?
I haven't did I not explain this last week that I rated everything 3 through this weird era when I was just like got on Letterboxd. Knight's Tale is better than 3. If I were to rate Knight's Tale off the top of my head right now, I'd give it 4.5.
That's acceptable. Go change it.
I'll do that.
'Kay.
But here's what I want to say. Here's why I get upset. I think it truly is I don't understand your rating system. For example, like for me, right? I don't know if you're rating something based off the filmmaking, based off of purely your enjoyment, based on a little bit of both. Like
Everything that I rate is based off of a little bit of both. Except for like for example, like 3 Ninjas to me is a 5-star movie, which is 5 stars purely because of the nostalgia with that movie. Right? But that's a movie that like you look at and you know, oh, he's giving it 5 stars because it's nostalgic to him. It's not a 5-star movie, but to me it is.
I think where I get frustrated is okay, let's look at this, and this is just my opinion. Let's look at The Accountant 2. You give that movie 5 stars. For example, right? I give The Accountant 2 5 stars too. If we take a look at The Big Lebowski specifically, you give The Accountant 2, and you can admit this, The Accountant 2 is not as well made as The Big Lebowski is on a filmmaking level.
Fair. That's fair.
Okay? So for The Accountant 2, that's purely your enjoyment of the movie is why you give it.
But The Accountant 2 had one of the greatest shots of all time.
Which one?
John Bernthal standing there.
Oh yeah, that's a good shot.
Yeah.
I guess for me, you act like you understand movies, and then you just do stupid shit like give The Big Lebowski 4 stars
because
and
here's the
give
thing.
Reservoir Dogs 4 stars. Like, and
Yeah,
look,
because here's the thing. Those are getting 4 stars because of the filmmaking, the cinematography, the
so
score.
you don't enjoy them.
No, I didn't enjoy them. I did not enjoy. I turned on The Big Lebowski and I was about an hour and a half in, and Landon walked downstairs and I said, "This movie is made really well. I just don't like it."
And I said, yeah, I started it a while ago. Turned it off after like 20 minutes.
It has
I didn't lock in. And
it has its moments that are funny. John Turturro, is that how you pronounce his
Yeah.
last name? He's the best part of that movie.
The Jesus, no.
He to me was
John Goodman is the best part of that.
To
movie.
me, he was the funniest part of that movie. John Goodman is really good also. He's the one who says, "This is what happens when you finish the sentence."
Yeah.
He's funny, but it's just like, it's to me one of those comic reliefs, and I get it's a comedy movie, but it's one of those characters that's just like too much for me.
Which is fine. Okay, so this is okay. You say this to Eli, so I'm going to say this to you. When you write a review, say that. Say, for me, I didn't really enjoy the movie, but the filmmaking was awesome. I would not get mad at you for that. I think my problem solely comes in when I don't understand why you're rating it what you're rating it.
But we've talked about this though. We've talked about why I rate movies the way that I rate them.
Okay, that's fine, but you give something 4 stars, you're going to give this 4 stars, but you're probably going to give another movie 4 stars based on your enjoyment level, maybe not the filmmaking. So how am I supposed to discern those two?
That's fair. That's fair. I'll do better for you in that regard.
So, and it's the same thing, respectfully, to Landon. He gives Inglourious Bastards 4 stars, and I truly don't understand it because it seemed like he enjoyed the movie the whole time. So I guess maybe...
For me, that's one I'll probably never watch again.
Okay.
I liked it. I thought it dragged a little bit in like the middle.
Okay.
But like the ending really made it up for me. And I think what did I say? The first chapter, the 5th, and I can't remember. There's another one that I was like...
The second? 2? When he brings
2,
out Donnie?
2, yeah.
Yeah.
1, 2, and 5 for me were like, yes.
Here's what I'm going to say.
Middle kind of...
Here's what I'm going to say. I don't need you guys to love all the movies I love. That's fine. That's
really, because every time we get in an argument, it's about how I rated a movie that you love.
Because but doesn't it make sense? They're personal to me. So
yeah, no,
obviously I'm going to want my best friends in the world to love them.
And that's the thing. It does make sense. And 4 stars out of 5 stars is still a good review. Like that's still good review.
But here's what I'm saying. I would rather you give that movie 3 stars and say this movie was not for me. I didn't enjoy it that much on a personal level, but the filmmaking was good. Just discern that shit.
So you'd rather me give it a worse rating and
if that's your feelings.
But my feelings were that that's a 4-star movie. So I don't understand
so just
what
do
you're
better.
upset
Just
about.
do better. Be better.
Like I don't understand what you're saying. Clearly, you don't understand movies, or you don't like movies. I recommended a movie to you, and it took you 3 months to watch it.
And guess
you
what?
You recommend movies to me, and I watch them within a week.
Yes, because...
So here's the thing. Don't come at me for this stuff when you can't even watch one movie that I recommend to you. How long did it take?
It took me a second. I was busy.
You weren't that busy. You had watched like 15 other movies in that time frame.
First of all, I'm sorry that I've got stuff going on.
I know you got stuff going on. But how many movies did you watch instead of that?
Okay. You're right. I watched a lot. But can I be honest? A lot of those are movies that I put on while I'm editing.
Fair. That's
because
fair.
I know I can't give them my full attention, but I can give just enough. For that movie, there were a lot of times when I started it and I hit you up and I said, I have it on the side screen or whatever. And you're like, no, you need to watch it when you can lock in.
Yeah. Which is how you ask me to watch the movies that you recommend.
Yes. And here's my thing. For the most part, this is jokes. Like, obviously, I don't think you don't know movies. Obviously, I don't think you don't love movies. I say that shit is jokes. But where it gets hard for me, truly, is I just want you guys, and this is on me. This is a me thing. I just want you guys to see what I see. Because these movies, to me, are sacred. Like, you have to understand, like, if you watch Pulp Fiction tomorrow, and you came back to me and you said, yeah, I just didn't like it, there would be a part of me that hurts inside because of how much it means to me. You know?
Fair, that's fair.
It's like, that would hurt. Because and you'll get a kick out of this, and it's because I do respect your opinion so much.
As you should.
That's why it hurts. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah.
Like, it's like if I showed you a movie that I made, and you came back and you said it wasn't good. I would respect it 100%, and I'd get your feedback, but it would hurt because I care so much about y'all's opinions on these things. Look. Thank you guys for watching episode 12. Allie, thanks for coming back on.
I feel like we always end on like the saddest note, where Seth's like, all right.
No, it's fine, dude. It's honestly fine. It's been a long day for me. So
and
I'm
one
ready to
more
wrap
thing
this
that
up.
I'm going to say. One more thing. Because I'm just like, I get so frustrated with how you talk about how I rate movies, about like movies that you love. But at least I rate them and I leave a review. You watched Star Wars Episode 3, my arguably favorite movie of all time.
Because, Jax,
you didn't even leave a review.
Can I say why, though? Here's what you're not hearing. When I first got on Letterboxd...
Seth, you watched Star Wars Episode 3 2 months after we got back from California.
Well, I must have just logged it then. I must not have rewatched it, because I haven't watched that movie since I was a freaking kid.
Well, then you lied to me.
I didn't tell you I watched
Yes,
that
you did.
movie.
Landon, you remember? We talked about this multiple times in California.
I watched the last third of that movie.
Because we were watching the Ahsoka series in California, and we were telling Seth, you need to rewatch Star Wars Episode 2, and he said, I'll watch it when I get home, and lo and behold, a review popped up, and it was 2 stars.
That's another guy. I don't know what happened there. Sorry, I haven't seen it since I was a kid. Maybe I lied.
I think it's because you built your lightsaber and it changed you.
Turn me dark side, bruh.
If it turned you dark side,
You would
that
love
movie's
that
5
movie.
stars.
Well, here's all I'm going to say. I love movies.
Clearly you don't. Clearly you only love movies that you think make you a superior movie fan than
No, I
others.
don't. That's a fucking ridiculous thing to say, dude. No, I love movies so much that I just want my friends to love them too. Because guess what? When we watch Star Wars Episode 3 on Friday, I know it's going to bang. I know it's going to bang.
And it better be at least 4.5 stars from you.
I don't know what it will be.
It will
But
be.
here's the thing.
Trust me.
Here's the thing. Okay, you guys would just get
Don't
it.
say some out of pocket things right now, Seth.
No, I'm
The
front
podcast
pocket.
needs to end. We've been on here for too long, and you just keep saying the most outlandish bull crap things.
Oh, but you had to bring up this whole bullshit thing when I was about to end the podcast.
Yeah,
It's
I
because
did.
you bring shit up.
I bring things up to prove that you are not the do good, I just love movies movie fan that you claim to be, okay? Because to everybody else, it's a rate a movie how you want to rate it because movies are subjective and however you felt watching the movie is how you're going to rate it. Until it's a movie that I watch, and then all of a sudden I'm a
more
dumbass.
about what you think. Because I care more about what you think. And I'm sorry. You know what? You're right. I don't give a fuck what you think about movies anymore. You can fucking go rate Pulp Fiction half star. And I'll be like, you know what? Good for you. No, I'm sorry that I care about what you think about movies. You and Landon and Kirby are the only 3 people that I get angry about when you don't love a movie that I love because I want to discuss it and I want to know these things. So yeah, I give you a tough time.
Yeah, so let's discuss it, but you don't have to tell me that you just don't get what's going
It's
on.
a bit, you fucking moron. It's a fucking bit. God. Okay, thanks for watching, guys.